we're laying down for this one because I want to be comfortable. I just want to set my phone down and record when I notice that I'm having a thought when it's happening. I want it to feel natural and like a diary, as if I were writing in a diary, but I'm not. I'm talking to you. And there's one thought that's kind of been going across my mind, and that's that I'm not sure sometimes when I'm doing something if I want to be doing it, or because I feel like I should, or because I'm more afraid of just doing nothing. I've been having this thought about the content that I'm making, and then expanding from that, just what I'm doing with my life in general. I mean, I feel like I'm about to have a kind of horrifying epiphany and transformation of my life, and I think it's going to be really ultimately fulfilling, but also I think I'm about to go through something personally very, very challenging. My sense of values has been shaken, and I'm not really sure where I want to invest in my life anymore. That used to be a bit clearer, and that's changing because I've been unhappy. I think I kind of meandered away from the point. Sometimes I do things, a lot of the times I do things, and I don't know if it's because I actually wanted to do it or because I'm more scared of doing nothing. Specifically, content, for example, even like the video I posted yesterday, it's such a personal thing to share, and it's kind of like, well, did I just do that because it's there and it's something I could have posted? Did I just do that because I could? Because it was something that was happening anyway in my mind, and there was nothing stopping me from recording it and posting it. But did I really want to? Or am I just so determined to be a content creator that I'll try and make content out of anything I can, even like deep personal reflections, like maybe I shouldn't have done that, and maybe I'm gonna regret that. Maybe this is not something I want to do. What I want and even what I enjoy has never been a knowable thing for me. It's always been ambiguous and incredibly difficult to define. And I sometimes, when I post things along these lines, or like in my stories and stuff, I'll get responses to that kind of grief that I have that are kind of like frustrated with me. Like, what do you mean you don't know what you want, or you don't know who you are? Why are you acting like this? Why are you being like this? Just do what you want. Just be yourself. I'm certainly not ready to begin to talk about what that means to me and how difficult that is, and just the overwhelmingly challenging history that I have with the idea of just being yourself and doing the things I want. And I understand that it's a genuine piece of advice and attempt at consolation, but there are other times when it's like an attack, and I can obviously tell that it's like frustrating that person to listen to me talk about how troubled I am with something that must come so naturally to them. And with that being the case, I'm very happy that you can't relate to this because it feels awful. What I want to emphasize is the idea of doing something because you don't know what else to do. I feel like I can attribute that to a lot of pursuits that I've taken in my life. And right now, with making content, something I'm currently processing is that I don't want to make, I'm going to throw up, comedy content anymore. Very brief backstory. A couple of my videos reached over 1 million views on Instagram and on TikTok in middle of 2023. My account went from around 2,000 to now 48,000 followers, and a lot of people followed me because I did these funny, silly videos that made some people laugh, and now I have almost 50,000 followers. I did have 50,000 followers. I was on 53,000 followers a couple of months ago, and they've just been dropping. That's another story. Trying to maintain that has been deeply unfulfilling, and I could even say disturbing and depressing. Trying, like, this just humiliating, attempting and flailing to continue posting that content. It was just so clear to me anyway that I was just posting to provoke that outcome again. I wanted another video to get 1 million views and to get another 1,000, 10,000 followers. It led to me feeling truly pathetic and ashamed, and I know that that's dramatic, and I know that people are going to tell me I don't need to feel that way. My nail came off, by the way, and they're all blue because I've been doing tattoo stencils. I realize that I'm being harsh, okay? It's just how I feel. I recognize that I'm being quite mean to myself, and it's okay that I tried things and maybe I was a little bit embarrassing and silly online. It's not the end of the world. I'm not going to regret it when I'm an old woman. If anything, I'm going to be proud of myself that I put myself out of my comfort zone, and I tried. Yeah, I tried. But that didn't happen again. That hasn't happened again. And I've just become more and more unhappy with the things I'm making. And I think I've become quite depressed and very, very unsatisfied with my life. I just feel like I've completely lost sight of my values, and I want to reconnect with that. I know that I'm more creative and artistic and imaginative and talented than that. Not that doing that kind of stuff isn't all of those things. I just mean in a different sense. In fact, I should be way more specific. In a visual sense, I'm very inspired by visual expression. I'm an artist. I'm studying fine art, and I don't involve that in my content whatsoever. And I think that that's caused me to be a little bit disconnected from art because it's just not involved in my life in the way I want it to. If you go to my Instagram page, some of it is just me talking to the camera, and it's obviously like a silly little reel. If you see a feed just made up of that kind of stuff, there's nothing artistic or aesthetic about it or anything. I have some stuff like that, and then I have some like selfies where I've tried to put together this kind of creative outfit. I am like trying to display my creativity, so you can kind of see both of that when you go to my page on my Instagram account. And a couple of times now, because those videos just got so much reach, some people, some artists, some creatives followed me, and I just would think to myself, oh my god, this is not how I want you to see me. I'm so much more than this. People that I respect for their creativity and their visions would follow me because they found me from some comedy reel that is just so not who I am. Not who I am? That was confusing. But I mean, I don't know if that's what I want to be seen as or recognized as online. So seeing those names pop up in my notifications, seeing that someone that I have followed for a long time has followed me, and really believing that they're not seeing me, they're not seeing the version of me that I want them to whatsoever, has been quite disappointing. But I got these followers, and especially at the time when it first happened, I was just desperate to maintain and continue to prove that I was worth following and paying attention to, and I didn't want to lose this engagement and attention that I had. I mean, I've been posting online for all of my adult life, and this is the most engagement and reach I've ever had by far, and I'm scared right now because I know that I'm gonna lose probably like 85% of it because I don't want to continue making that content. Also, I realize how dramatic this sounds. Ultimately, no one fucking cares. No one cares that the person they followed on Instagram is going to make different content now. It's more that I've always been quite scared of becoming one of these accounts that I see where they've got like 100,000 followers and maybe 1,000 likes per post, and I don't know how that happens, and I don't want to end up there, but that is what's going to happen if I just switch up my content like this. And then at the same time, I'm trying to combat those thoughts with like, girl, come on. Your happiness in your creativity and what you're posting online is more important than the engagement it's getting and the amount of followers you have. And that's such a, it's quite, no, it's okay, it's a valid thing to worry about and be concerned about, but I can also notice the superficiality of it. And so I'm rethinking everything that I want to make and post and what I want to be online. And I think one of the big things for me, if I really reflect on it now, my god, I mean, well, this is, I don't even know how to start to have this thought. The thing is, it may be the case, big thought, it may be the case that I don't actually want to be a content creator at all. At least not in the way that I've understood it and the way that I've been pursuing it. I've been trying to see how it feels to consider that short form content is not something I want to do, and I do feel better about the vlogs that I make, things that I post that I feel good about now. Vlogs, my outfits, my photography that I take, my kind of like aesthetic page. I love seeing the collection of images that I've sort of like curated. I find it very pleasing to see that kind of content. I don't feel not proud of, for example, stream clips and gaming clips and stuff like that. And when I post like game playthroughs from stream, but I can't say that a gaming channel or gaming content is necessarily something I'd like to invest a lot in. I obviously very much enjoy making that content. The fact that I can stream, I can play games online and hang out with people, and that's a big source of my income, is an incredible privilege, and I'm super pleased about that. But that on its own is not creatively fulfilling to me whatsoever, which I hope is understandable. I don't want to stop doing it, but I have been streaming a bit less lately because I really need to spend some time with myself, and I think I need to spend some time with art and creativity. Yeah, and that's another thing I'm scared about, imagining losing what I've built on Twitch and my community, which I know the community does go beyond the streams and whatever content I'm streaming. You can probably recognize that a lot of this is fear of losing things that I've built because I want to redirect myself, and I need to remind myself that whatever happens, I'm gonna be okay and I'm gonna be safe. Safety isn't gonna go away. Just because I do redirect and maybe some of those people that enjoyed previous content of mine leave, that doesn't mean I've done anything wrong or that I'm doing anything bad now or that I'm making worse content. And it's immeasurably more preferable to continuing to make content that doesn't speak to me, and just continuing to do things in my life and with my time that is not only not resonating with me, but actively hurting me and making me distressed and upset. Going back a little bit, making things because you're motivated by fear of doing nothing. You're motivated by the fear of the alternative, of not producing anything. I feel that way a lot, and it's led me to trying lots of things and not being fulfilled by them, but kind of continuing and persistently like insisting on those things, because it's almost like I feel like I'm so frustrated that I should have figured it out by now, what I want to do and what feels good to me. And I do feel shame that I haven't yet. And I see people younger than me that have been outputting this consistent quality content in whatever area and whatever genre it is, but they clearly know themselves and what they want to do and what they want to make, and I'm over here fumbling. But I'm more scared of not doing anything. I'm more scared of inactivity, because with that comes an even greater sense of shame and guilt, incredibly pervasive guilt, that I've done nothing extraordinary with my life, and I'm not talented and I'm not special. Maybe because my parents are millennials and they raised me with a sentiment of you can do anything you want with your life and you should pursue your passion and your dreams. And so I've always been quite averse to like a more traditional mindset of just like getting a job, having a job, and sort of like having a kind of like corporate career. I feel like there are some parents that emphasize financial stability and working because you have to work, because that's what you have to do. You need to survive. And that's what they implement into their children. And then I think there are people that are a bit more like my parents, that it was very much like you need to find a job that makes you happy. There's a bigger emphasis on finding a job that makes you happy. It's incredibly important that the job you do fulfills you and makes you happy, because if not, you're gonna be devastatingly depressed for the rest of your life. That's ultimately why this is all stressing me out so much, because I'm so scared of having one of those traditional job roles. I just make money and I live to work. And so I started to focus on art and my creativity, and I think I recognized that I'm living now, unlike my parents, in a time where I could create something for myself on the internet. I could start a business on the internet, I could become famous on the internet, and all of my problems would be solved. And I've been pursuing that since I was like 19. That's been a goal, and I was 25 when I got 40,000 followers. You know, it's not a realistic thing, or it certainly wasn't for me anyway. And I've been able to survive, just in case you were curious, because at the moment I'm a student and I get student loans and I stream, and now I am actually making some money with streaming, or I've been living with ex-partners, ex-boyfriends that have provided a home for me, or I was living with my family. You get the idea. So now sometimes I wonder, I question, am I making this content? Am I posting this right now out of fear? And because I've been convinced that it's better than posting nothing at all? Or is it a genuine interest. I'll see an account, I'll find a creator where their content is their art, their design. My reaction to it is kind of, I feel kind of shame that I haven't done that and I haven't been able to achieve that. And I feel like that would be more of a respectable thing to do. I can tell that there's a point I'm trying to get to and I just can't find my way to it. I've been saying a lot. It's almost like I'm just throwing out all of this shit at the wall just to see what sticks. And I think I feel shame in that because I feel like it would be more professional, more legitimate if I had this vision of what I wanted and what I wanted to do and what I want to be, and I was able to truly endeavor towards that with intention and focus. But what I feel like I'm doing now is this kind of embarrassing, painful struggle reaching in the dark. It feels as though I may have said everything that was on my mind. I'm not sure how to bring these things to a conclusion. Again, thank you so much for engaging with my last video. These videos are an opportunity for you to explore some things and navigate some things that might be problematic areas of your life. And it feels good for me to do this. This is just therapy. Sorry about that. But you can tell people that you're now a licensed therapist by watching these videos. Oh, how impressive. Okay, thank you guys very much. I hope that you have a lovely day, whatever you're doing. You have a good evening or morning, and hopefully I'll talk to you soon. Bye.